Hello, everybody. My name's Brian. Welcome to the theme workshop. This is the workshop where we can come all hang out, talk about theme-related themes in Big Box and LaunchBox, and we can ask your questions, theme-related questions that I can do my very best to answer for you, and I can go about and show you guys some stuff that I'm working on. And hopefully you can learn something cool out of it. And Dave, how you doing? Nice to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well today. It's another Friday. So what are we doing this week? I'm essentially realizing I've got a number of projects that I haven't been able to get to for a long time. For people that have been watching for months and months, you will know that I've been really wanting to get CoverBox ported over to the Community Theme Creator, and the issue is just the amount of content that's in the CoverBox theme. It is a theme that was dedicated. So for people that don't know, CoverBox is a theme that I created a very long time ago, and I've been worked on it for I would say many years. And the whole point is to just simulate a console's box art, or console's games box art, and make a menu out of it, and then just do that for as many themes or consoles as possible. And so when I started that theme, I didn't really know a lot about XAML, so the code that it's coded in. And so some of those early stuff is kind of, not pretty to look at. So what I'm wanting to do is transfer everything over that I did into the Community Theme Creator. But there's like 40 something different themes essentially packaged together in one. Or we could say 40 different views that are not related to each other in any way. That's a lot of views. So I spent time, I think last month, porting over, and I got to do this one at a time, system for system. And here in the Community Theme Creator, you can see anything with this logo I've basically completed. What's great is once I get this completed, I do have some extra views that are not in the current version of the CoverBox that will go along with this, including like the Nintendo Switch, the 3DO, the Neo Geo Pocket, the Neo Geo Pocket Color I did. There's a number of them sort of just waiting. So I can't wait to get this all out. I did spend some time on the Nintendo stuff. You can see a lot of the mobile Nintendo systems have been ported. But let's just jump in to, I think I'll do a couple of them during this stream. We will get to the Nintendo Wii, I think. I think this is a good time for the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo Wii U, since they're similar but not quite the same views here. Let's see what I would have to do to accomplish this. So here's Nintendo Wii. Let's jump into it. And I'm presented with a blank canvas. Let's turn this into the Nintendo Wii. The first thing I'm thinking about is a background image. Let's do this. Now, to remind myself what exactly the Nintendo looked like, Nintendo Wii view looked like, I'll have to go into my CoverBox theme. Let's take a look. Where is it hiding here? Anyway, Dave, how are you doing today? Hopefully well. We just dropped beta 3, so I think, are you looking through the marquee changes that came with that update? Okay. Well, this is what it looked like. Alright, I think I should be able to do this now. And I should be able to do this better now that with the new version of the theme creator, you can see here that back in the day, and this was very hard to accomplish, this circle, and there was a number of reasons. The first reason was that by default, the right part of a text list gets cut off. That will be no more, basically making it so you couldn't actually see this side of the corner radius. The second thing, and you can see here I never really solved it, was that the text just gets cut off right here and it just like disappears. And that's just because the way that it had to be done didn't allow this selected item to like know where to stop and place its text trimming, which is like the dots that indicate that there's more to this name. I should be able to accomplish this now with the Community Theme Creator, and this is the new version of the Community Theme Creator that is yet to come out. So this is all stuff from 2.3 Community Theme, the CTC 2.3, which should be out in the coming weeks, I believe. Now, when I look at this, what am I going to have to recreate? I do believe it's a background that has a hole punched out. I'll need these images, which will indicate how many players are involved. Looks like just the clear logo here, the description here. What else? There's the ESRB. There's 4 different, potentially 5 different metadata information here that gets updated. And I'm looking at the star rating here. That's a blue color. I should be able to accomplish this without needing a special blue image like I did with this theme. Other than that, I think that's it. I'm gonna put this aside so that I have access to it when I need to. I might need to grab some colors or something from it. But what I am going to need is to grab the images from the old theme. Let me double check how exactly I was doing this. I'm going to hit the browse button. That will bring me to where CoverBox is, all the media. You can see it's already a mess. I've got like theme folders for every single one here. Okay. So I'll just have to create another one for the Wii, and I should have 3. Okay, where is my regular theme? It's probably here, and this will have images in here. Let's grab this one. So you see it's 3 different images, but why? Okay, I know why. Do I want? I might leave that out of the theme, this one. I think this is a GIF that will highlight. And the problem with this is that I'd have to weigh like the coolness of this like flashing thing with the performance impact that this will have with the theme. I might go with performance. So let's leave that out for now. I might change my mind later. Which means we're left with these 2 items. And let's start with the background here. So now that I have that there, let's go to the Wii, and we're gonna grab that background, make it full screen. Okay, so far so good. Let's grab the selected item video so at least we have something back there. And we're going to put it in a way that covers the entire space. Should be good. I might want to switch to a game that actually has information. Okay, there we go. Okay, not too bad. Might want to put it behind the image. There we go. I'll just sort of creep it up the best I can. And so far so good. Okay, a lot of this stuff is static images that's in there. This doesn't look like it's in there, but that's okay. ESRB rating, that should be easy enough. Let me create another group and I will create an image. We'll just call this ESRB. Go to metadata. We'll find the ESRB metadata, which is here. And we will just find the ESRB folder that I have all my images in. And there we go. I don't need to set the width of this, I believe. So I'm going to say auto width. Let's clean it up a bit. And then I can just set the height that I need. And what I kind of want to do, and I can do this with the new zoom function of 2.3, is match it up to the height and width of this. There we go. So that's good. And now I will just position it where I need to position it. Okay. And zoom out. So far so good. This could be a little bit centered. Okay. Not too bad. Now the really hard part is going to be this menu here, which currently looks like nothing. This is going to go down probably to here. Now, how do we get this to look okay? Well, first, it's going to be the font, which means I'm going to need to find what the font is that I used. And I can do this a number of ways. I think I made this view too long ago to have a version of the font with me. Ugh. That's weird. Okay, let me make this small. Can I bring this over now? There we go. I don't think it's any of these ones. And if I had to guess, and I can bring up the theme code here. And Eric, how you doing this week? Hope you're having a good Friday. Just like Bob or us. They're happy little themes, that's right. The Nintendo Wii happy little theme. Now what was I doing? I was trying to find out whether I had the font. So I'll go down to Nintendo Wii. Here it is, the list view. We're gonna get rid of all of this junk here. Okay, and at the top, yeah, so the way that this is laid out makes me realize, okay, I had the font, I placed it into a plugin, and the font is called this, FOT New Rodin Pro M. Let's see how quickly I can download this font. Should be able to, looks available. There we go. Okay, so if this is the font, there it is. It's quite a beefy font, because I think it has a lot of extra characters other than the English there. And so now that it's installed, I will have to restart the Community Theme Creator, because I just installed the font. That's one thing that you'll have to know. If you install a new font to your Windows, in order for the Community Theme Creator to register that it has it, you just have to do a quick restart of the Community Theme Creator. All right, let's jump back to the Nintendo Wii. And let's give this a shot. Okay, we got the wheel here that's just sort of blending in with the background. We're gonna need, and somehow we are trying to accomplish this for the wheel. So each one is going to take up this big bordered space with an outline. How do we accomplish that? Well, slowly. That's how we accomplish it. We accomplish it very slowly. Step 1, font. I believe the font started with an F, although I could be wrong. There it is. F-O-T? Okay. Probably a good size. That's not too bad. Maybe just 50. The font, I do believe it's black. No, it's not, is it? So the font color I'm grabbing from my theme should be this. Okay, now we can see the font. I'm gonna switch to, let's start with preset 8. And that is interesting. I did forget to post it in the announcements channel, didn't I, CBs? I knew I was forgetting something. And Eric, you're doing well this afternoon. I'm glad that you always enjoy these streams. You get a nice, goes great with a nice cup of coffee. Yeah, it's true. Actually, I have something here. I have coffee here. I should just probably pour myself some instead of just looking at it. Okay, so we at least have the font ready. The font is a kind of funny one I'm seeing, but that's okay. Let's see what we can do. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to do a lot of custom styling, aren't I, here? So I'm gonna copy this one, create a new one. Let's see, what am I doing here? So it looks like I'm just adding UI to the end. So I'm just gonna do Nintendo Wii UI. There we go. Okay, you took care of it for me, CBs. Okay, thank you. And Edward, welcome in. Yeah. Shouldn't you be subscribed to the LaunchBox YouTube channel, CBs? Alright, so now I have everything that was in preset 8 to start me out. And the first thing that I know that I'm going to need to do is take this border here. So I'm worried about everything inside of this control template is what's going to be displayed. Essentially, it's a border and it's the actual content. That's how it is by default. I'm going to make this border have a background. Looks like for every single one. So I'll just put a border thickness, probably 2. And then a border brush of, actually, there's already a border brush there, isn't there? Let's erase this border brush of, let me double check what this looks like. It's either this or this. I'm gonna go with this one. There we go. Let's see what we got so far. Okay. So far so good. Not exactly looking like it should, but we're getting closer. So let's go back into our style source and we're going to add the corner radius, which will give us that curvature. I think about 35. Let's see what 35 looks like. Okay, not quite. I'm going to have to go really much higher than that. 50. Oops. Ooh, this box. Very big box. Okay, we're getting there. Not bad. Let's jump to 60. Where are we? Okay, wheel and edit. Jump into 60. Ah, that looks better. Okay. Okay, so far so good then, I think. And Retro Gaming, you downloaded the theme creator last week to make your own theme. How is that going? Did you have any questions about your theme? I mean, I wouldn't mind. Once you get it to a state, what kind of theme are you creating? I'd love to know. And C-Beats, is that the wheel preview? This is the text list preview. So not quite the wheel preview. It has always been there, but not to the state that you see it here. It very much updates much nicer. In fact, if I'm correct, I can actually go through here and change the game with this virtual pad. So for people that don't know, you can double click this virtual pad down here. Let me get rid of this so I can make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So you could double click the virtual pad right here. It opens up to here, and up and down will just bring you to different games. Okay. You can see that the actual item is not what I want it to be. In fact, it looks like I didn't have the item change color. So I'm going to fix that so I can actually visibly see it myself. So then the selected item, the foreground, which is the color of the text, make it the same. There we go. And Night Raven, you're also making one? Yeah, if you guys have any questions about what you're seeing or with your specific theme, yeah, let me know. And Retro Gaming, you've modified the Pulse theme. That's awesome, yeah. Gave yourself a nice... I mean, that's what's great about the CTC. You can go get the theme creator files and just create the exact... make the modifications to a popular theme that you like. And Edward, you think the CTC uses your screen resolution and orientation? Is there a way to create a vertical theme without putting the monitor orientation into portrait? There is now, actually. Now, I can't remember if this is part of 2.2. You can check. I think it is. But if you go up here, this will come down, and you can see all these different aspect ratios. One of them is 9:16. So if I click that, it will virtualize a 9:16 screen and try to position things accordingly. But if you start off fresh like this, you can then build your theme exactly the way that you want. And then you can, like on your computer, and then when you transfer it over to your portrait screen, it'll look great. Let me go back. I'm actually gonna make this a 16:9 theme because it really won't work on anything else. And Retro Gaming Replay, you're using it to build themes for your YouTube compilation videos. That's a good thing to do. That's for sure. I need to actually switch a game, don't I? Let's go with this one. All right. So we're trying our hand at this, which is probably something I should have left to the end, because this is the hardest part of building this theme, I think. Something I'm going to have to do is the margins. Now I can't remember. There's a new margin feature here. If I add a margin, let's say to the top, yeah, so it just adds it inside of here, which is not the margin that I want to change. So I'm going to have to go into the wheel style source, and I believe it's this margin that I do want to change. So let me change it to about 20 on the top and 20 on the bottom and just see what we got. Okay. I did the exact wrong ones as I was doing that. So it's 20 on top and 20 on the bottom. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we got some space. I had opened something just for this scenario. Let me get rid of that for you guys. Okay. You think this would be a little quicker to get rid of some spam. Alright, that should be better. There we go. Okay. And Night Raven, one thing that you like is the marquee view. You've got marquee screen size, and like that when you can show each game. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And just like CBeat says, marquee view just got some love this beta, which is beta 3. So if you can definitely check that out if you haven't. And Daniel, welcome in from Brazil. That's pretty cool. How are you doing this Friday? Open this. All right. Yeah, so the marquee changes that we got, if you have one of those stretched marquee screens, the ones that get cut or ones that try to like simulate a resolution that it's visibly not, we have some like hardware compatibility mode options that will allow you to position the marquee within the options menu itself without having to dive into the XAML. So that should help greatly. And then we also have some improvements to the marquee, the default marquee view as well. So like exciting marquee changes for if you're a user that has a marquee. Now, what else am I missing here? I do believe I'm missing a gradient in the background. Okay, that's something that we use. Let me just double check. I do believe that is a gradient. And I do believe the gradient gets brighter. So I can do this all in here, I believe. So there's foreground, the background. I'm going to have to change inside of. That's interesting. I thought we could change the background here, but I guess we couldn't. So let me double check. How would I do this? I'm going to have to jump into the style source, and I'm just going to have to give it a background. I believe here. So the background I'm going to give it by default is actually it's not a background, is it? I have to do the more fancy stuff. So I'm going to have to do a border background. I have to do this by heart. Linear gradient start point would be probably 0.0 and 0.5. Endpoint would be 1 and 0.5. That should give me a vertical gradient. And then gradient stops, I need to change the color. The first color will be this one. It's not true. That'll be the second color. And now I'm forgetting the code here. I think it's just stop. Man, this is going to error out, isn't it? This is why I love using Visual Studio. It's not stop, it's offset. I should have known that. Offset, let's do 0. And I'm going to need one more of these. Put this on top actually, so this will actually be 1, 0. And let's grab the second color, which is this one. Okay, I mean that's just white, so it goes white to sort of a... Alright, so now as it crashes, you can see that it's dangerous to start playing with that stuff. For sure dangerous. But what's great is that you still have access to all of your files. In here is where the Wii should be displayed. So Nintendo Wii, looking for a style source, here it is. And there's all the stuff, so let's take a look. So this border background. So far, so good. Okay. I'm just going to come down here and make sure that I got everything correct in this. Okay. So there are some things that are not correct. I'm gonna switch that. Okay. Should need a brush in there. Okay, let's see if that that fixes my problem. There you go, retro gaming replay. It's saying when you put items in a dock, so you want like a clear art, a screenshot, game details, text. How do you make sure that the items below the clear art automatically move up when the clear art shrinks? Okay, so let me double check. Are you wanting to have all of those elements stacked on top of each other? Or you want them in like a row? And Nick, hi from the UK. Will we be doing Daphne instructions in the near future? Well, not on this this live stream, just because this is a theming live stream. There are some older Daphne instructions that are already on the channel, if you haven't checked those out. But if I remember correctly, Daphne, in order to launch it, you have to create a bunch of text files to then use to point to the correct files in Daphne. Something like that. It's a little complicated because no matter what you do, you have to have hard-coded locations within Daphne. and therefore it's not really portable, right? You've got to adjust these hard-coded locations to your computer, your wherever you've placed Daphne. Something like that anyway. All right, let's see if I'm going to crash. I am going to crash. Okay, so I didn't do that right. Let me look at the code again. I see it already. I see it already. Okay, so we're going to go into the CoverBox 3. Oops. Style source. Nintendo Wii UI, and we're going to get rid of the extra hash there. And at this point, I think we're okay. I'm just going to leave this open just in case. And let's open it up again. So stacked on top of each other. Yeah, let me show you how you can do that. Oh, and there you go. I can see stuff again. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, let's do this for you. How would you do that? So let me create a new group, and in this group, I'm going to have, what did you say? An image, 2 images, and like a descriptive text, like the scrolling text. Like this one. Yeah, Daphne's an old emulator. I feel like there was one that came out that was a little newer than that. But when you have it working, you know, it works. It's one of those, like, it's like some people have it working fine, and others, you know, that are trying to set it up need to kind of learn its issues. It's got some issues. Okay, so let's do clear logo. There's a clear logo. Let's do, and I'm just going to name these so that I'm not going to lose track. Let's do like a screenshot, like you were saying, and we'll display a screenshot. Let's go to a game where I have a screenshot. There we go. So you want this one, and then you want like a text scroller. Oops. That's going to scroll like the notes of the game, let's say. Just like this. And you want them stacked on top of each other. Like this. So far, so good. I'm understanding what you want. So I'm going to take a stack. And I'm going to make the stack pretty high. Let's say like this. Can I put a background on the stack? I'm just going to put a background here so that you can kind of see what's going on. All right, obviously the background to the stack did nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a rectangle so that you can clearly see what's happening. Let's paste the layout. There it is. And then we will put a black there so it's not blending in. And now I'm going to place the clear logo in the stack, the screenshot next, and the text scroller. Alright, so all 3 elements are in there. And now that I see it, we should probably put this back to white. And let's say, I'm assuming, I mean, let's say this was all centered. All right, so now we've got this all centered inside of this big stack. And you're like, okay, if this goes away, or let's say this goes away, make sure there's not like a big space here. So right now I'm assuming what would happen is, let's go to this one, this game, there would just be left like a space, right? So that they don't condense down. And what you want to have happen is that if something's missing, recenter this stack, you know, condense it down. Am I like getting that right? And if that's right, let's show you how you can do that. Let's start with the screenshot, since we have an example here of a game that doesn't have one. What you'll have to do is get into the whole visibility conditioning of the community theme creator. And what I mean by that is, I'm on the screenshot and I'll go down here to the visibility section. And okay, so you want everything to just move up. So I'm just going to put this vertically on the top. And yeah, obviously won't do anything. So we got everything at the top. And the screenshot here, see how it says, yeah, the visibility is visible? This is like the item that becomes really useful once you can understand what's going on here. You would click here, visibility visible. You can see you have hidden and collapsed. What you want to say is, if there's no item, if there's no image screenshot, collapse it so that it takes up no space, making it so everything combines together, like there's no more image area for the screenshot. And how you can do that is within this conditions button. You open this up, you get this conditions area, and you'll say, let's add a new condition. We'll say, well, let's collapse it if I'm going to go to screenshot. So if this screenshot element, if the file doesn't exist, so if the file exists is no, collapse this element. I'm going to hit OK, and let's see what happens. And Dave's, welcome in. And Dave, what did you miss? Not much. I'm just building this Nintendo Wii, and we're discussing what would happen. We've got a question from Retro Gaming. What would happen? How do we make it so that an element, if you have no item, will not take up space in your theme? So far, let's click on Big Brain Academy. So there's your screenshot. And if I click on Animal Crossing, which I don't have one, you can see that this now goes up. The screenshot area does not take up any space. Did that make sense? Now you're saying not missing, so we take care of missing, but how do you make it so the clear art is taking up less space? Okay, so let's say for the height, all you really have to do here, so like right now we're taking up this much space, but what happens if it's like a really tiny logo? You're saying you don't want it to take up all of the space. So you can just take the height and you can just click on auto size. And what will that do is that it'll auto size to the full length of this, but then only take up a specific amount. But it'll basically shrink it down if the logo doesn't take up that much space. I mean, let me just show you. If I auto size the height, it's just going to go to the length of this. So let's go to a couple different ones, and you can see as I scroll through them that the height of this is now changing to fill the space. Now what it will not solve is something like this, where this logo clearly has some white space saved into the actual image, causing this the white space around it. And if you wanted to solve that, you would have to just trim the actual image. So now there's no more void space with the clear logo. Okay, but let's say you can go even further. Let's say you say, I don't want any clear space for this logo, but I also don't want it to grow like really big. Like a very tall logo could almost take up this whole space. That's what this maximum height value is for. So you can say, I want it to basically be any size up to 400 pixels, or 400, it's not technically pixels. So now that's what these things are for. So now I could say, make it any size, but stop it after it gets to this many, this height. So now if I go through it, those ones that are kind of really tall won't grow really far. And so you got like the best of both worlds at this point. You got the full control. Right, so this Big Brain Academy didn't grow huge. And then if you didn't like the space in between them, you know, you jump into the margins and you would just add, you know, margins to give yourself some space between these items. So hopefully that helped. Any more questions, let me know. But let's go back to what we were doing. I can actually use a couple of these elements myself. Let me use this one here, the clear logo. And we don't need this one, but I could use the text scroller. So let me scroll that out there. Delete the rectangle, delete the stack. For now. Now I know that I have an image here that I'm going to need to do, and in this case I don't really need to do much in the way of conditioning it or anything that we were doing a second ago. What I will need is to just position it, say take up this much space, center it out. Should be good to go. I can already see that this item or this game doesn't have an ESRB associated with it. This is a good example of saying I can create a fallback. So if my game doesn't actually have a rating, I can switch it to not rated. I've got an image there for that. So there's always going to be something that displays there. Okay, so far so good. Now let's get back to what we're doing here. We're basically looking at the text lists and we're going to find out how to make it look like this. My CoverBox theme. My CoverBox theme version. We need this to look the same as this. Not quite looking that way, is it? And I realized that if I wanted to have a background, I thought, for some reason in my head, I thought that there was a background color picker, but I realized it's not a background color picker. There's only a selected item background color picker. So so what I had to do was I had to jump into the style source and create one. And what I did was I looked like I created it backwards. No, let me just double check though. 0.5, yeah, I did create it backwards. Alright, so that should do it. There we go. So I supplied a background, and now the selected item, I can do my own background. you can only apply the selected item background, I should say. Alright, so this should be simple enough for me. I'll just get this second one, and I believe I want it to be a tiny bit brighter than what I have there. I believe I go down to D, so I'm going to go up to EB. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Give it that distinction. Okay, the second thing that I want to do is give it a difference in border brush. So it looks like the border brush that I have set will be completely blue. This will be what we use. This will be what users use to identify which one's actually selected. Let me double check how I've got to do this. So foreground, background. Okay, so I've got to jump into the style. All right, so here we are. And you can see here this multi-trigger, which basically says, is this item active? No. But is it selected? Yes. Active means that someone's actually like clicked on it. So no one's clicked on it, but it is the selected value. And in this case, I will need to build a property of border brush and give it the value of that. And that should be enough for me to see. There we go. That this is the one that's selected. I'm going to double check just to make sure that I have the look of it down. Now that I'm seeing it, I feel like I need to adjust the border thickness a little bit. So let's do that. We'll jump into the style source and I'm going to give it just a 3. See what that looks like. That looks better. Yeah, I showed that off, which is awesome earlier, but you can always use this virtual controller. Change the game. That looks really cool. Alright, Retro Gaming Replay. Glad I could help you. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you have a good weekend. We are getting closer and closer to having this look proper. Let's take a look. I'm probably going to need to make this a bit bigger. We can see we have some issues here, but we can use that new margin, I believe, to help with that. So let's give that a spin. So we'll go to wheel. We've got this new margin property here. And I'm going to bring this up. $28. I have this feeling that this font is really funky. Okay, so it keeps getting larger and larger. I do need to turn on the trimming, so let's do that. There we go. Wow, that is a funky trimming for this font. But, you know. Alright, so I can bring this down. That looks a bit better. Bring that down a little more. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. You know, it's got the full amount, and then if it trails off, we'll get this sort of thing, which is great. You think 25? I'm not sure I like the 25, just because of what's happening here. I'd rather see this if I can. That looks pretty good. If I get much bigger, I mean, let's bring it down. Okay. So far, so good. I think we're okay. Yeah, looking good. All right. Now I just need to adjust the size. Now I have to decide how exactly I'm going to do this. So I basically want to only see 7 items, and I'm currently seeing a little more than that. So I can do this by making the margins bigger in between the items. I can also do this by making the text larger if I wanted to, although I don't really want to make the text larger. It's already pretty large. I can do this by making the margins. Maybe that's what I'll do. So I'm going to do this by making the margin larger. Get that button a little bigger. Let's see what 5 on the top and bottom will do. Perfect. All right. And NJ Dave, you like the real-time display. See, Dave, you're moving too slow for NJ Dave. No, but that is pretty awesome, isn't it? Alright, so far so good. Man, like, yeah, this is probably the hardest part of this theme, so glad I worked that out. Let's take a look at what I have to do left. Really, there's this metadata section, there's this section here, which will show you the play mode, and then there's this section here, which I already have here, so let's figure out what I did there in the original theme. That would be nice. So what I did in the original theme was create, and it looks like the same font, so I'm gonna have to use the same font there. I'll take the same foreground. I might as well, this like purplish foreground. And I'll apply it to the text scroller. Change the font. Okay. And this is going to have to be pretty small, isn't it? But I don't want it that small. And the last thing we'll do here... Actually, no, it wasn't this color. It was this color. Okay. That makes more sense why it looks kind of funny. Alright, so is this blue color? Okay, it's a bit better. We're going to grab this, put it to the top, so when it scrolls, it'll look like it's going to the top there. And I believe this just will look like what's on the back of a Nintendo Wii box. What was the last time you got... I used to have so many Nintendo Wii boxes that it would take up shelves. And I had to really downgrade that because couldn't have it take up so much space. Okay, I think we're good here. And then I just need to figure out all of these values. So how long until it will begin to scroll? And you know what, I'll give them 8 seconds before it starts scrolling. The scroll speed, probably want it to be about 7. Let's see what that looks like. And do I want it to auto reverse? Sure. NJ Dave, you should definitely come in, update it, create new themes. With the community theme creator, it should reduce the time it should take to build the theme, and it's just about the idea. Get that idea in there. Let me take care of that for you guys. All right. So I think we're okay here. Let's just see how that's scrolling. Probably can scroll a bit faster, can it? So let's bring that to 5. Okay, next. Let's do this section because that should be fairly simple. I got to make sure that I have the items, so I'll put it here. Image. This is kind of like play mode. Maybe I'll just use play mode. I think that the images are built for that. So we'll go to metadata. I might change it later. Let's go down to play mode 1. And we will grab within one of my folders. So I should have like a play mode folder, and I don't currently. So let me open up this in a browser. File Explorer. Let's see which ones I have open. So I should have the old images here somewhere. Play mode, Nintendo Wii. Oh, I did it that way. Let me see. So I'm in theme. Let's go to icons. Nintendo Wii. I'm not really liking that it says 4 there. Even though it's 2. How many Wii games were only 2-player games? There must not be many. Oh, there probably is many in there. I'll have to fix that up later. I probably did the same thing here, yeah. Okay. Okay, so for the purpose of this live stream, let me get that done. Let me create a new folder for Wii U, because I should be able to accomplish that right after this. Wii U, we'll grab these guys. Okay. So I've got this image. I'm going to tell it to look inside of my Nintendo Wii folder. And you know what, I'm just going to use Max Player because I'll fix that later. So let's go to the Max Player metadata and tell it to look in there. It should find something. Looks okay. I could either center it to the box or center it to this corner, but maybe centering it to the box here. Should be good to go. I've already used the theme function, Dave. And NJ Dave, how many themes have I created with Theme Creator? Oh no, gosh, I don't even know at this point. So I mean, there must be a lot. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to guess that. 20, 30? A lot of themes, you know, a lot of it's just playing around and not end up releasing something. So probably even more than what I've released. Okay, so there's this zoom function that Dave wants me to show off, which would allow me maybe some better ability to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm holding control and using the mouse to zoom in and out. I can hold the space bar to bring up this hand to bring myself around. And yeah, I like that. I'm okay with this. Okay, next, what I'll do is, well, I kind of want it centered to this. Better to me. Okay. And the last two things. One thing is the star rating. So I can do this with an image. I'll create an image, call it star rating. And you might really like this, NJ Dave, what I'm about to do, if you haven't watched any of the previous streams. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with play mode first. I'm going to come here, look for my star rating. I'm going to pick the, where is it? Community one, I guess, with the fallback to the user rating. I'll tell it to look inside of the white star rating folder. Okay, and now I can't see what is actually there. What I can do then, because I need it to be this color here, so I'm just going to copy this color, and then I'm going to use a color tint over this image, and then tell it to use the current image as the opacity mask, and then we're done. So I can basically have one set of star rating image and then color it any way that I need to. And that looks basically the way that it was in this theme, in the original. But in the original, I had to create a separate set of images to accomplish that. So I think we're okay. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt back in the day, wasn't it? To get stuff like this working, just the star rating. And there was like 2 different ways that I knew of that you could do it, but both were a pain. Or getting like, some ways would provide not the best visual representation of what actually was the star rating, but it was close. Others just did like 1 to 5, they didn't break it down. Do it through plugins. But yeah, this makes it a lot easier. And what Dave, he's going hard on the selling points of the community theme creator. But I think what he's mentioning is that once you publish your theme, it will try its best to do all the things that we tried so hard to accomplish after the fact, like keeping the right positioning on different resolutions, text sizing on different resolutions, like all this stuff. Animation, like if you ever tried to use translate, transform animations and it just didn't work between resolutions, like all that stuff's taken care of for you now in the community theme creator, and you don't ever have to worry about that stuff. You just build your theme and let the community theme creator do it yourself. Or let the community theme creator do its thing in the back. And saying that, I've got one more thing to do. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Let me think. I feel like this is the publisher. This is the developer. This is a genre string. Not sure I like that. Yeah, I'll keep that. But what I'll have to do is, just like back in the day here, is I will need to use the view boxes, which I haven't used a lot in these streams before. And so what I'll do is I'm going to build this sort of web of parent items. So the stack will be the start of this. I'll put it here. that's sort of the area that I need it to be in. I'm going to put this view box in there. I feel like I only need the view box for one element. I'm going to create one element here to show you how easy it is to sort of create this, what I'm about to do. This first one looks like it's the play mode. Well, actually, I'm not really sure why I have the play mode, but let's just match it here. Let's see what kind of font style that I have. It looks like an off-white of some kind. There we go. It's the same font, so I'm just going to grab the same font. Probably a larger font size. And of course, change it to metadata. And grab the play mode. I'm just going to grab the first one. And what we're going to do is set this to an auto size, height and width. So it'll only take up the space that it needs to. Place it in the stack. There's number one. All right, number two, which I need a height auto sized, but not the width. And I'm going to take this play mode and copy and paste it inside of the view box. Actually, I'm going to have to place it inside the view box. The view box itself needs to have it does need to have a height, doesn't it? Height of like 25. Let's do 35. Jumping up to 50. Okay, 50 is good. And now this play mode is going to just have to switch it to genre string, or genre in this case, and we should be good to go. It'll scale the size depending on how long this string gets. Mr. Retrolust, welcome in. Hope you're doing good this Friday. And Night Raven, you just started creating a theme this month. That's pretty awesome. It looks like you jumped in at a good time. You don't have much free time, so you'll be able to do it without this. Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of this, right? And we all can't wait for this version of the Community Theme Creator to come out with all the little extra bits that Dave has been working on. That's good. Hopefully everyone's sort of getting ready for the weekend. So I've got two done, and now I need the third metadata. So all I'm just going to do is just copy and paste the play mode one, and then we'll just change the name. Genre. We'll go down here. This one will be platform. No, this one will be, looks like developer. So then what's great about this, I don't have to worry about all the formatting. I just formatted the first one, and now I'm just copying and pasting the formatting. I'll do that again to get this final one. This final one actually has 3 items, and it's in a dock. So I'm going to place this dock. The height I'll take the same height, and then we will, I guess, auto size the width. I'll place that in here. We're going to have our first item in here. This will be the publisher. Change this to game publisher. No, just publisher. There it is. Oops. It looks like I've got the release date, so that's in its own different element. So bring this down here. I don't think I can copy the text, so I'll just do that quickly. Get this. What was it? 25. So release date, get the same color, get the same font. Get the same size, and then tell it that I just want the year. Of course, we got to auto size everything. Okay, pretty good. I'm just going to tell the publisher that I want a little bit of a space in between it. Maybe a bit more space. And then the last thing looks like I need the symbol, so I'm gonna get one of those ready. And we're just going to make probably just I'll just copy and paste the publisher. Actually, no, I'll do this one. Paste it in the dock. Put it before the release date. And then switch this over to a constant value and then paste that in there and see what it looks like. Oh, Night Raven, you only have Sunday off this weekend? At least you get a day. Let me take care of that for you guys. And Dave, you have to work tomorrow morning and afternoon. How about like midday? Do you have to work midday? Mr. Retro Lunch, it looks great. Thank you so much. This port has actually gone a lot smoother than I thought it would. Especially with the, I was really concerned about this list box. It was like completely hacked this list box back in the day, and it would not have looked pretty trying to do that again. But this should work a lot better for a lot more resolutions now. Ah, so you're like on call, Dave. Yeah, I've done that lots of times. Right, and thanks to the hard work of Dave, I'm able to pull this off now. And yeah, I mean, this, especially with a theme like CoverBox, it's almost essential. I hacked this text box so many times in that theme, and I'm just gonna need to do it more and more the more that I port more systems over. Hopefully I can get this, I need to get this system ported, this theme ported so badly and released to everybody. I think I must be at least halfway. I'm gonna guess I'm about halfway, if not maybe a little more. So like it's not at the beginning of the project anymore. All right, so if I'm just gonna do a eyeball check here, but I feel like I'm done. I probably need, I do see that I need a drop shadow behind this. Let's just give it a nice drop shadow. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Maybe not too much blur. Okay. Well, I'll probably regret that as I scroll through the games. So let me scroll through some of those games and see what it looks like. So far, so good. So far, so good. 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 Okay. You know, I'm fine. We'll bring this in a little bit. Okay. Overall, I do believe that we're done with this theme, and I can move on to Wii U. Let's actually see if I have a version of that somewhere here that I can use as my example. Okay, I do, so that's good to hear. A couple things that I probably should have done earlier is moved theme files, so let me do that. We'll go to CoverBox 3, which I'm calling it at the moment, but I'll change that name later. We'll go to... there's one more thing that now I'm forgetting that I have to do. And that's the top version here. So I do need to have... I'm going to steal this from one of my other themes to make it a bit easier. So let's go to the Nintendo Switch. And we got to get that splash page working. Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to steal this one. And we're going to jump over to the Nintendo Wii. And we're just going to paste all of that stuff in here. Paste in place. All right, now I don't have to do that whole thing over again. Let's switch this to theme Wii and grab that logo. So far so good. And the left and right, I gotta bring in the visibility so I can do this, but we're just gonna make this white. All right, cool. So we are good to go. Let's copy this whole view that I just created, and we're going to paste it over to the Nintendo Wii U specific view. Okay. That gives us a starting point for basically this. So it's a very similar theme. I don't think we'll have a lot to adjust. But I'm still concerned about this. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to pull this off. But let's find out. Yeah, I should be able to pull it off. Alright, let's not forget anything. Let's start up here. And of course, that means I need the backgrounds. So here's the media. Theme. Wii U. Jump in here. This is the normal, the old version of the theme. Let's go to Nintendo Wii U. We're going to grab these two elements, paste it here. Now we should be good to go for the rest here. We're going to change to the theme Wii U. Pandemonium, welcome in. Hope you're having a good Friday. You're all the way in France. Does that mean it's nighttime there? Must be a lot later for you guys over in that side of the world. Okay, got the logo in. Now I think I'm gonna change this color. That kind of zooms into the blue color of the Nintendo Wii U. There we go. Now we can actually see the logo. And that stuff will clear itself out after a second or two. All right. Next, we're going to take the background image. We're going to switch it over. Okay, good to go so far. I didn't have the logo up there. Okay. I guess I can create another image. We'll call this the clear logo number 2. Oh, top corner. This is just a static image of the exact same thing that I had there. Oops. And we'll move it up there. It's a lot smaller. Center that guy out. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Oh, you guys. Yeah, it's pretty late. That's good. That's good. At least it's not too late. All right, so I'm gonna lock this in so that it doesn't get in the way. Okay, so we've got the star rating. The star rating in this case, I don't need to put a color tint because it's already white. Okay, that's good. The next thing that we could do here is take the items here and change the color, because we've got it's no longer an off-white, but it's a completely clear white. And one thing that I can do is I can make a copy of that one and just paste the text, I believe. Nope, I was wrong. It's appearance, isn't it? No, it's foreground. Can I paste foreground? I can. There we go. Pasting the foreground on all the elements that we need it for. Okay. So we got that adjusted. If I wanted to, I could take the stack and just push it over just a tiny bit there. The ESRB is fine. Okay, so now the next thing we have to do is the play mode. So we've got to tell it to use a different folder. In this case, the Wii U. Okay, there we go. Kind of wish, like, I actually have a whole bunch of Wiis for some reason, but which is really cool. I've got a lot of controllers, really fun to play, but I kind of missed the boat with the Wii U. I had a chance of purchasing one and didn't follow through. Kind of wish I did. All right, last thing here that I can see is the text scroll. So here I just got to switch this to white. Okay. Now let's deal with this mess here. The wheel. From what I can see, I've got less of a corner radius, so I'm going to bring this down to half of what it is. That'll give it the more I also need to make the item yellow, the selected item yellow. So I'll go back to the wheel, selected items. I got to go into the style source again, and it should be right here, border brush. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so far so good. Let's cycle through some games just to make sure that we're okay here. All right, we're doing pretty good. And Night Raven, you think the Wii and the Wii U are great for parties? Yeah, I would agree. Very easy to pick up and play, lots of games for them. Trying to think if there's anything else here. But if I'm looking at it, I'm pretty happy with it, actually. Gives it that more modern Wii U type of feel. The clear logo's fine. I adjusted all of this area. Looks fine. I adjusted this. I think we are good to go, guys. Let me just double check. Wii U is done. Come through a few different games here just to make sure. I got some work to do on this section, but I can do that later. And now let's just jump to the Wii. Definitely looks a little a little more 2006. Oh, I see what I did. Rookie mistake there. One thing you got to remember to do, especially if you're copying and pasting, is to create new versions. Oops. Let's get rid of this. Of the wheel. Because I updated the same style. So here, what I'll do is I will just... That one does have the style of the Wii U, so let's just create another one. What I'll do is I'll discard that. I'm going to first go back to the Wii U because I'm going to have to do that anyway. We're going to create, I already did that. We're going to create a new one. Nintendo Wii U. I'm going to paste that in there. Okay, so now this one's using a different style. I'm going to jump back over to the Wii. And we're going to fix what I did. As long as it's in my head still, which I really hope it is. Then we can tell what the differences are. Got to be able to see it. There we go. So the Wii, we go into there, we adjusted the margin or the corner radius, we adjusted the color of the border brush, but I think that was it. That's definitely not the same color, so let me go find what it is from the source. Alright, so I got the color. Let me paste it back in. That's better. I think we're good. Yeah, I used the color picker. I had to grab it from the actual source image that I have here open. And you can see here the view box is working its magic. Construction and management system simulation. I'm not sure I really like that. Another option is to just text trim this. What do you guys think? Would you rather see the whole genre? Or would you rather text trim it so you only see part of it? Knowing that there could actually be more than one genre there. So you could be text trimming an entire genre out. Ah, that's a good idea. Let's do that instead. I like that idea. So we'll take the text scroller. Let's do a text scroll. So we're going to do a text scroll for genre. So genre scroller. And can I do it with the auto size height? Not actually sure if I can, to be honest. I don't think I can. So I'll just set this to 50. Yeah, it looked like it disappeared. But of course I didn't have anything in there, did I? So let me add something in there first. Then we will we will do this. No, it's gone. Okay. Gave it a shot, but let me just get rid of this guy for us. And what we'll do instead is that we will take that's not a problem. That we will take this scroll bar. We gotta take how many of the properties can I transfer over? Do you feel? Appearance, foreground, which will be nice. Alignment and effect. Okay, so I need the text section to. So it's genre. Don't need a text format. Gotta change the font. So let me do that. The size, I believe, is 25. There it is. I'm going to change the direction of this guy to horizontal. I'm going to now change the begin delay. So, yeah, I guess there should be a delay, shouldn't there? But maybe in 5 seconds. The scroll speed should be really short, I do believe. Let's try 1.5. Auto reverse is on, and scroll if too long. We also have to get rid of the background. So let's get rid of the background. I guess I could have done it this way. It's a little fast, isn't it? Let me adjust that to 2.5. Let's see what we got. Not too bad. Looking good. What do you guys think? It will only scroll if it's too long, so it won't scroll if it's not too long, which will make it. I think this will be a fairly rare occurrence. Very few games will be way too long. Now I can get rid of the view box and everything inside of it. There we go. Now let's see what it does. Construction management. There it goes. Cool. Perfect. And since I did it to this one, I probably want to do it to the other theme. So let me grab the genre scroller. Go to Wii U. So we get the best of both worlds. We get to see everything, and it doesn't get too small, so it remains the same size as everything else. So we're going to paste this right here, and we're going to delete this one. Then we will take the play mode, we'll copy it, and we'll paste the foreground to get the same color. And you can see that if there isn't something that needs to scroll, it will just stay right there, just like that. But if there is something that needs to scroll, let's see if I do have a game that needs it. In fact, there might not be one. I think it's a very rare scenario. You can kind of see that I probably needed one. There's one. No, almost. Yeah, I don't have one in this, but that's okay. I do have one for platform. You could see our. There. We could just give the treatment to publisher as well. This was the copyright symbol, wasn't it? This could be the publisher scroller. And all we have to do is change the metadata that it's pulling from to publisher. And I'm not really sure if it's needed, but I could also do the same thing for a developer. There we go. This new one, I need to add back that margin. Make these like little adjustments. Did I finish Cyberpunk, or did anybody finish Cyberpunk? I have not started playing it yet. Is it worth playing at this point? It always seemed like a game that I would enjoy. Mainly, I would just be looking for a good story. So if it had a good story, I would enjoy it. I believe I copied this one, so let's paste this one here. Adjust the color. Delete this one. And then we'll do the same thing for a developer again. Game developer. And we'll remove this one. So we cover ourselves. I don't have every game, but I'm sure someone does. And Andrew Preston, welcome in. We are doing some theming UI work right here. We've finished the conversion of this theme, which is the, not really a theme, but this view in this theme for the Nintendo Wii. It's our CoverBox port of the Nintendo Wii. And we finished the Nintendo Wii U. So if I switch over here, we've now got our Wii U theme for our future CoverBox port in the community theme creator. And let me just add up everything, because I know I have about 40 themes that I have to port over. It looks like or 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27. That includes the new theme, so maybe bring that down 4 or 5. So I'm in my 20s and have about 40. So yeah, we're above halfway porting this theme over to the community theme creator. I'll just keep plugging away at it, and looks like we're almost done the Nintendo stuff. I've got a few more that I see that I've created that I have to port over, and it doesn't even look like we've touched the Sega, so I'll have to bring all of those Sega themes over. But other than that, let's end it. You can kind of see what it takes to get just a couple done. Looks like 1 per hour-ish, something like that. Hopefully I can spend much more time, get this project out of the way, because I'd love to. I keep saying that I should, and it's just been taking me months and months to get it done. So I just gotta spend that time, grind it out. in between everything else that we have to do to get LaunchBox all ready for you guys. Other than that, let's call the stream for now. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend, and hopefully you'll enjoy the beta. If you're on the beta, we greatly appreciate that you're helping test all the new functions out. We've got some marquee improvements and new features to the marquee. If you haven't seen, we have performance increases to LaunchBox's menus, and a whole bunch of other stuff coming for this version. And Andrew, you're saying you realize it's off topic, but it was really nice to see LaunchBox bring back Android support. Yeah, we brought back Android support last year, and it's continuing its development. We've got stuff that's going to come for LaunchBox for Android very soon. So we hope, have a great weekend, everybody. Hope to see you guys soon, next week or the week after. Hopefully next week, because I love doing these streams for you guys and just hanging out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.